At least 17 Palestinians have been killed and over 1,000 injured in clashes with Israeli soldiers along the Gaza border. That's according to the UN's Permanent Observer for Palestine, with the UN Secretary-General calling for an independent investigation into the deaths. Earlier, the Israeli army used live bullets, tear gas and drones against Gaza demonstrators. The annual March of Return is a demonstration denouncing Israeli occupation. Thousands of Palestinians have pitched tents across 5 locations where they're expected to stay for 6 weeks. In response, IDF soldiers have stationed more than 100 snipers overlooking the area. Local journalist Hind Kudari has been following the clashes along the Gaza border.
We're only 100 meters away from the fence. As you see, we can see the Israeli army snipers, we can see the Israeli army soldiers in the jeeps and trying to target all the protesters that are being very close to the fence by live ammunition, rubber bullets and the tear gas canisters. They are using new, updated and developed weapons. As you see, this is the tear gas by the drone, by the Israeli army. They are using the drone to throw the tear gas canisters on the protesters. And this is like the 10th time they're using it since the beginning of the day. Here's a live injury just right now from the tear gas canisters that were thrown on the protesters just right now. And as you see, everyone is trying to take this injury to the ambulance to go to the hospital directly. The Palestinians are going to stay here for more than 45 days until the 15th of May because they believe that they have the right to return to their land, they have the right to stay here, and they won't go home until they go back to their origins, to their homeland and to their towns.
The West Bank city of Ramallah is also witnessing a violent standoff with IDF soldiers shooting at Palestinian stone throwers. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has declared Saturday a national day of mourning. Israel earlier blamed what it called violent riots on the Palestinian political movement Hamas. The country's army said that it would respond to any threat to Israeli sovereignty as well as to damage to the security fence. Ahead of the mass protests, a Palestinian farmer was killed by an Israeli tank shell. His relatives say he was harvesting parsley 1 kilometer from the Israeli border before dawn. Thousands marched on the streets of Gaza as his body was being carried. The Israeli military says it was aware of the reports but claimed the tank fire was directed towards people who approached the fence and were acting suspiciously. Jamal Juma from the anti-wall and settlements movement thinks Israel's heavy-handed response to the Palestinian demonstrations is disproportionate.
It is a very strong message to the international community. This march and this gathering and the return march is a peaceful march. The Israelis pushing a lot of military on that areas and they are shooting at the people. So the one who's using the violence, the immense power is the Israeli military. They don't care about the Palestinians' life. They don't see the Palestinians. And they are sure that every crime that they are doing, they are escaping with it because they are immune by this international system, particularly the United States and the European countries that they are silenced there, and the Arab countries that do normalization with Israel and do allies with Israel now.